we're looking to restart the Tak Ba nickel sulfide project in northern Vietnam, and it's a previously operating mine. This time we're looking to a renewed focus on downstream green nickel products for the lithium-ion battery industry. We have a portfolio, an international portfolio of battery and precious metals, but we're actually looking to really focus on this Tak Ba nickel sulfide project. Just today we announced we're looking to spin out our non-core gold assets in Western Australia. They were our listing assets back at IPO over 3 years ago. So we're looking to IPO those out as a spin out. We're also looking to a strategic review on our Goldbridge project in British Columbia, which we initially were focused on cobalt. And it was actually that focus on cobalt that pushed us towards this nickel sulfide district in Tak Ba in northern Vietnam. So yeah, we're looking to really rationalize this portfolio and really focus on what we think could be a globally significant nickel sulfide district in Vietnam. Just quickly on the capital structure, we are listed on the Australian Stock Exchange. We've also just recently listed on the OTCQB with the code BLSTF, and so we can be traded on the OTC markets. Recently raised $21 million with a cornerstone investment from Fidelity. So one of the largest institutional investors in the world cornerstoned our recent raising. So we're well positioned with $22 million of cash, a market cap of around $130 million on the Australian dollar terms. We have some very supportive shareholders, particularly out of Germany. We have Deutsche Balaton with 13%. They've been a long-term, very supportive shareholder. We've also recently added a strategic investment from EcoPro. EcoPro is the largest cathode manufacturer in South Korea. And so they hold a position of 12% and they have a board representative as well. So that's a really important key part of our story, is this focus on downstream nickel products for the lithium-ion battery. And EcoPro saw that back early in 2020, they invested at a 62% premium to market and have been a very supportive shareholder also. Board and management with a strong position of around 14%. So we recently have added a significant number of strong technical experts to our team to move this forward back into production. So we've got some mine builders there, and we've invested heavily in our human resources. We've got a board and management team with 20 years of experience of exploring and developing across all continents and all different commodities. So just quickly before we look at the opportunity, the macro environment, there's a real push towards high nickel cathode. And that was what EcoPro, I suppose, gave us this opportunity. When we were looking at cobalt, which was initially a big focus of the cathode, it was actually EcoPro that said to us, oh, can you now look for nickel sulfide? It's a really important part of this movement towards a high nickel cathode and a reduction in cobalt. So we're seeing a move towards direct investment into upstream from these large players, LG and Samsung announcing big deals in this sector. The current nickel prices, unfortunately, don't incentivize the development of HPAL. HPAL is the technology required for nickel laterite, and over time, we believe that the nickel price will incentivize HPAL, which is a really important sort of technology to unlock a significant amount of nickel laterite. At the moment, the nickel price is more incentivizing nickel sulfide opportunities like ourselves. So you can see here from the benchmark data, there's a movement towards an NCM ratio of 8:1:1. So we're looking at a high nickel cobalt manganese ratio, 8 times nickel to 1 times cobalt. There's a real push towards green products as well. So Tesla recently came out and said we need more nickel. We need to be looking at environmentally sustainable nickel. And we believe we have one of those rare opportunities where the previous owners have sunk a significant amount of capital into what we believe will be a green nickel product. So just on the opportunity, so we're located 6 hours west of Hanoi in northern Vietnam. We have the largest hydropower plant in Southeast Asia in Son La. So right next to the mine, the Tak Ba nickel project, we have this large hydropower plant which allows us to deliver this green nickel product. So we have a very low power cost. A green nickel product can be generated from this renewable power source in Son La. We have a large port infrastructure at Haiphong. So we're well positioned with the major players in this industry for the lithium-ion battery industry being China, South Korea, and Japan. So we're on the doorstep of the major players in this industry, and we believe that this is an emerging hub for the development of lithium-ion batteries and electric vehicles. So the previous owners operated a small underground mine. They mined around 1 million tonnes at high-grade massive sulfide grades, around 2.4% nickel, 1% copper. They left behind a very large disseminated ore body, and that has been the focus of our initial drilling and our initial study work. We believe we have a large open pit mining scenario similar to the Mount Keith nickel mine in Western Australia, which has been a very successful large-scale open pit mine. We have very similar grades to the Mount Keith mine. This is a picture of the Mount Keith mine. We're looking to build a large open pit mine in Tarkwa, and you can see there that the hydropower allows us to drive very low operating costs. So we have an existing concentrator. That's a small concentrator, 450,000 tonne per annum concentrator. So to mine that large open pit, we will need to build a larger concentrator. The small concentrator allows us to now focus on some of the high-grade opportunities, which allows us to look at staging the capex required at the concentrator level. Most importantly, we're going to push this concentrate into the downstream products, and we'll talk more about what that means in the further slides. Recently, LG Chem has announced an alliance with a local conglomerate called VinFast. So they're looking to put $2 billion into this northern Vietnam region to produce lithium-ion batteries and electric vehicles and electric scooters. So we're well positioned with our very strong infrastructure with the hydropower, but an emerging hub for the lithium-ion battery industry. We recently announced this initial scoping study on that first ore body, which is that Ban Phuc large-scale open pit. We're looking at an 8.5-year initial mine life, very strong economics, $665 million US NPV. The NPV to capex ratio is 2 times, so around $315 million of capex required to produce that $665 million NPV. So very good return on investment, 2.5-year payback, and a 45% IRR. So some very strong economics in this project going forward. So just on that, so it's all based on that first ore body, where we'll talk about the other upside opportunities, but that first ore body indicated resource, maiden indicated resource of 44 million tonnes at 0.52% nickel. So that's a very similar grade to this Mount Keith nickel mine that we talked about. Initial 8.5-year mine life. These are very strong economics, and this is done at an $8 per pound nickel price. Today we're hitting new highs on the nickel price. So these numbers are actually based on a nickel price lower than today's spot price, which is good to see. What's driving these economics is this ability to take the concentrate and, with our partner EcoPro, convert that concentrate into the first stage of the cathode, which is called the precursor. So that NCM product, the nickel cobalt manganese precursor product, trades at 135% payability, or a 35% premium to the nickel price. So we can take our concentrate, which trades around 70 to 80% payability, and convert it to a premium product for the lithium-ion battery industry. And this is how we do that. So we take the concentrate, we put it through a pressure oxidation autoclave. This is a tried and tested technology used all through the mining industry, particularly in the refractory gold industry. We have an intermediate product called a mixed hydroxide precipitate. So we take that mixed hydroxide precipitate, we re-leach that, and we add the cobalt and the manganese sulfate to produce the NCM precursor product. So this is a combination of EcoPro's expertise and Blackstone's expertise as a mining industry. We bring the pressure oxidation technology. EcoPro brings the ability to convert into the NCM precursor products. Just on the scoping study, we have significant upside to come. One of the key things that we're looking at is now using the existing infrastructure. So we have this 450,000 tonne per annum concentrator. Instead of building the 4 to 6 million tonne per annum concentrator, which we looked at in the scoping study, we can delay that capex associated with the large concentrator by using this existing concentrator to mine high-grade massive sulfide vein opportunities, and we'll talk more about those in the coming slides. We also didn't look too closely at the byproduct credits. So this is a magmatic nickel sulfide system. We have byproduct credits in copper, platinum, palladium, gold, and rhodium, and we haven't looked at the economics of extracting those. We believe that they will be positive. We just need to do further work on the metallurgy associated with those byproducts. So we will bring that into the next phase of studies. So just on the district, we have 25 massive sulfide veins outcropping at surface, undrilled and untested by modern exploration techniques. We have two EM crews, so we have our own geophysics crews, and they're just systematically working through those 25 targets, and they're outcropping at surface. So we're in a very strong position to discover a number of massive sulfide ore bodies, similar to what the previous owners mined. So they mined a 1.3 metre wide vein, 500 metres strike down to 400 metres depth. That was a 1 million tonne ore body. We're looking to discover more of those massive sulfide opportunities. So you can see centrally located that large Banchang open pit mining scenario with a number of small, higher grade, massive sulfide vein opportunities around it. Within the disseminated of that Banchang, we initially discovered a very high grade zone around 1% in this King Cobra discovery zone. So the overall ore body is a 0.5% head grade. We're having these very strong high grade numbers around 1%, and we're continuing to drill that out as we speak, and that will be included in some of the next phases of studies. So this is our first of our massive sulfide opportunities. This is called Banchang. We're consistently hitting massive sulfide. The EM is working to perfection. We're hitting massive sulfide within meters of the EM anomalies. So you can see we have a combination of massive sulfide, net textured and disseminated. So there's multiple opportunities here to either bulk this out or mine the high grade, which is much narrower. So the high grade running around 2 to 3% nickel, 1 to 2% copper, and strong PGEs, and then the bulked out grades include the disseminated. This is one of our recent massive sulfide targets. This is probably our most exciting target. It looks very similar to the Banchang massive sulfide that the previous owners mined, and you can see that the previous owners didn't have the EM technology that we have today. So we're going in with the EM, and the EM allows us to come in and see targets that the previous owners didn't test. So previous owners didn't have the same technology that we have with the geophysics today, and you can see that we're down plunge of existing drill holes which hit massive sulfide, and we're testing very strong conductors. So just on the news flow, we're looking to push this scoping study down into the next phase of studies, pre-feasibility, and then into definitive feasibility study in 2021. So it's a big year for study work, but ongoing exploration. We have 10 drill rigs operating at the moment. So it's an ongoing exploration phase as we move through these studies, looking to rebuild and restart the mine and in 2023. So it's a build phase through 2022, and looking to produce these downstream green nickel products for the lithium-ion battery industry in 2023. We believe that's when the supply crunch will come, so we're well positioned to feed into that lithium-ion battery industry in 2023. So just in summary, we do have a portfolio of precious metals and battery metals. We're looking to, I suppose, focus on this Tarkwa nickel sulfide project. So we're looking at opportunities to spin out and a strategic review on our non-core assets. We have delivered a maiden resource. It's a very large, medium-grade disseminated ore body. It's a large open pit mining scenario. We're now looking for small, high-grade, massive sulfide opportunities, which allow us to use the existing infrastructure and remove a significant amount of the capex required. So the $315 million, we can reduce that capex significantly by using the existing concentrator. We're looking to produce a downstream nickel product, so the NCM 811, with our partner EcoPro. We're partnered with the largest cathode manufacturer in South Korea and well positioned to produce downstream nickel products with EcoPro. We have a good, strong capital structure, well funded for the next phase of studies and exploration, and we have a board and management team that's done this time and time again and looking to to do this with the Ta Quan nickel sulfide district in northern Vietnam. Thank you for your time.